Asked court to bar the Federal Capital Territory Minister and others from Abuja disputed land. Hello viewers and welcome to InfoGist TV. A firm Nextdora Nigeria Limited has urged an Abuja High Court to restrain the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Wike, and others from selling its landed property. The property is located at plot number 4411, Cadastral Zone A09, Guzampedu Street, Abuja. Nextdora Limited, in a fresh suit marked CV 5517-2024 and filed by its lawyer Ruben Atabo, also asked the court to award 500 million naira against the first and second defendants in the suit as damages for trespassing into the plot. In the writ of summons filed on the 16th of December, the company listed as a claimant sued Eric Namdi, Bilikisu Malam, FCT Minister, and the Federal Capital Development Authority (FCDA) as first to fourth defendants respectively. It sought 7 reliefs, including a declaration that the claimant is the title holder of the property lying and situate at plot number 4411, Cadastral Zone A09, Guzampedu Street, Abuja. It said the land measures about 2.46 hectares, which is covered by a right of occupancy with file number MISCI 28232. The company also sought a declaration that the claimant is entitled to the lawful use, occupation, and quiet enjoyment of the property. The declaration that the claimant reserves the exclusive title to the piece of land lying and situate at plot number 4411 Cadastral Zone A09, Guzampedu Street in Abuja. A declaration that the grant of the parcel of land measuring 2.46 hectares covered by right of occupancy with file number MISC 128232 to the claimant is still subsisting. A declaration that the entry of the first and second defendants, Namdi and Hajiya Bilkisu, into the claimant's property amounts to trespass and therefore wrongful, illegally, and unlawful, among others. Nextdora Nigeria Limited, a property development company, in its statement of claim, averred that it applied to the Minister for allocation of parcel of land within the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, and paid the prescribed fees as stipulated by the authority. It further averred that after a careful consideration of its application, a plot of land lying and situated at plot number 4411 Cadastral Zone A09, Guzampedu Street, Abuja, measuring about 2.46 hectares was allocated to it. The company said upon the allocation of the plot to the claimant, it applied to the Department of Development Control (DDC) of the FCDA for the development of the said plot of land. It said the application was granted upon payment of the prescribed fees on 9 January 2023 with approval file number FCDA DC BPRSD PHS 1/22046. The claimant said in order to get the approval, the minister and the FCDA gave a bill of 3,729,766 naira tenkobo as settlement of building land fees to it via their letter dated 15 December 2022, and it paid the said sum. According to the company, in order for it to carry out development of the property within the time frame prescribed by the Department of Development Control, it commenced its fencing of the said property, whereupon it constructed an across road to the said plot of land. Nextdora, however, alleged that on the 10th of December, Mr. Namdi and Miss Bilkisu, who were purportedly claiming ownership of the property, accompanied by armed men of the NPF, forcefully entered into the said property and obstructed the ongoing construction works. It said upon realizing the antics of Mr. Namdi and Miss Bilkisu, it wrote a letter to the Director, Lands Abuja Geographic Information System, requesting it to place a caveat in its file in respect of the land. It alleged that the duo had continued to use men of the police to harass and intimidate its workers who are on the site. Further to paragraph 22 above, the claimant avers that she is into property investment and third parties have already invested into her project. The claimant states that her investors are beginning to lose confidence in her project due to the activities of the first and second defendants. The matter is yet to be assigned to a judge as at the time of filing the report. On the other hand, the former Oyo State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Mutalubi Adebayo, has cautioned against unconstitutional investigations following Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke's intervention in the controversial death sentence of a young man, Segun Olowokokere, in the state. Justice Onyejide Falola of an Osun State High Court in Okuku had convicted Olowokere and Sunday Murakinyo of armed robbery and sentenced them to death by hanging after finding them guilty of charges involved in theft and armed robbery in December 2014. The two convicts, armed with firearms, were reported to have forcefully entered the residence of a police officer, Balagun Tope, attached to the Divisional Police Headquarters in Okuko in April 2010, stealing his belongings. After a podcast by Nollywood actor Biola Adebayo, which featured the parents of one of the convicts, Alo Olowokere, went viral on Tuesday, Governor Adeleke, in a statement by his spokesperson Olawale Rashid, directed an investigation and the initiation of a pardon process for the convict. Reacting to the governor's directive in a statement he personally signed and made available to journalists in Oshobo on Wednesday, Adebayo acknowledged the governor's constitutional powers to pardon convict but criticized what he described as an unconstitutional investigation. Adebayo also warned against actions that could endanger judges and expose them to threats from criminals, potentially leading to loss of life. The senior lawyer urged government and the public to avoid being misled by bloggers and social media commentators spreading half-truths and falsehoods to vilify and harass the judiciary. His statement reads, "The claim that the prisoner was convicted and sentenced to death for stealing a fowl is an outright falsehood and cheap blackmail aimed at securing his release through underhanded means." The convict was a member of a notorious gang of armed robbers that terrorized residents of Oduoti local government area in Osun State. Before his arrest, he was fairly tried, convicted and sentenced to death by hanging by the Osun State High Court. There has been no appeal against the judgment in over 14 years. Adebayo clarified that while governors and the president have the constitutional right to grant pardon, it is unconstitutional for the executive to investigate judicial decisions, including the reasoning or propriety of such judgments. The executive arm lacks such powers. Investigating judges for their decisions constitutes an usurpation of the judiciary's constitutional rules. Judges being harassed online for performing their lawful duties is deeply traumatic, especially when such attacks are rooted in falsehoods and rumors, he added.